Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Before I dive on into today's first look, I do want to mention if you enjoy the Gaming Gang and would like to support the outlet, you can do so in a few ways. First, by utilizing our affiliate links to the One Bookshelf sites, such as DriveThruRPG. And to do so, all you have to do is visit thegaminggang.com and click on one of our banners. And of course, you can also make a one-time donation by way of PayPal or become a monthly member of our Patreon. You'll find links in the show notes. Also in those show notes, you'll find an invite link to our Discord server. It is absolutely free to join, so be sure to hang with the gang over on Discord. Today, I am going to dive on in and take a first look at Joyride, Survival of the Fastest from Rebellion Unplugged. This is designed by Duncan Malloy and Pete Ward with artwork by Par. The game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in around 40 to 60 minutes, carries an MSRP of $60. Having said all that, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Joyride. Do want to mention the fine folks over at Rebellion Unplugged were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this first look with you. It's important you know that. All right, let's get rid of the shrink wrap here. A quick peek at the back. Joyride is a fast-paced, high-impact racing game for 2 to 4 players. Choose a car with unique abilities, then race across 12 different tracks or design your own. Use powerful items to slow your rivals or simply smash them out of your way. The finish line awaits. This has a little bit of a Car Wars vibe to it, and I'm very cool with that because I've always been into the battling cars and such. I thought this might be more of a demo derby sort of game, but then I see we actually do have explosive items like rockets. I don't know if we have machine guns and lasers and things like that, but we will find out. I know that this has been really well received by a lot of folks out there. There are a few different expansions that are available from Rebellion Unplugged. Maybe in the future, we'll get an opportunity to take a peek at some of those. Let's open this up, see what we have got. Some Joyride goodies here. T-shirts. There you go. There are the expansions. I think there's more than just these now. So we got our racing rules and regulations. We have our race guide. So let's start off by taking a peek at the official racing rules and regulations. Your goal is simple. Be the first player to get your car through each checkpoint and over the finish line. You can use your driver's abilities, the items you pick up en route, and your car itself to mess with your opponents, but only the fastest will win. This rulebook will teach you how the game works, while the separate race guide will detail everything you need to know about the unique cars, items, and locations contained in your version of the game, as well as a variety of track layouts for different player counts. The game is pretty simple at heart. The back cover of this booklet contains a summary covering most of the rules, while the back cover of the race guide will clarify any unusual interactions that may arise. So we have some side boxes here, driving lessons, accessibility. There's some rules videos. That's cool. All right, so we've got our components. We've got the board. We have spaces and barriers, obstacles, checkpoints. Here's our race guide. The race guide contains an overview of the cars, items, and locations in the game, with clarifications on the back page detailing how they interact. It also includes several track layouts for different difficulty levels and player counts. Each track layout has a brief description before listing the tokens used and their position on the board, highlighting the intended checkpoints. Any special rules for that race will be in a text box. So we have an initiative track. So it shows us the turn order each round. And we have our initiative order. High contrast visuals. Joyride features low cluster, high contrast component variations where possible. So each player can choose the variant that works best for them. You can identify these by the accessibility icon matching the one in the corner of this box. It's got our player components. We've got our cars. I think the cars are wood. Talking about adjacent spaces. So it's front and back. It doesn't look like we've got the sides. So it says the car occupies 2 spaces. Looks like we use hexes in this. The spaces considered the front arc are highlighted in striped orange, while those in the rear are highlighted in dotted blue. Each player gets a dashboard. So it's going to show our gears 1 to 5, a rear view mirror. Your dice are placed between turns, 4 locked dice slots, and 2 item slots. So you're going to prep the track, ready your racers, and start your engines. So a game of Joyride consists of a number of laps, usually 2 or 3, as specified by the track layout. To complete a lap, you need to cross each checkpoint in order, then cross the starting line. To cross a checkpoint, you need to get any part of your car onto the line between the 2 checkpoint tokens, or between the token and the board edge it is pointing at, and have crossed all lower numbered checkpoints this lap. So on your turn, you're going to have 5 simple steps: start, lock, shift, roll, end. Start each turn with the results of your previous dice rolls on your rear view mirror. The number of dice there should always match your current gear. Nothing happens at this point, but it's an opportunity to use some driver abilities or items before doing anything else. Lock. Choose which dice on your mirror you want to keep at their current values and move each of them to an empty locked dice slot. You may lock up to 4 dice, so long as you have undamaged slots to put them in. You may choose to lock none. Add up the total of your locked dice and move your car that many spaces. At the start of this movement, you have the option to steer, changing the direction of your car. Movement and steering is explained on page 8. Shifting. Choose whether to speed up or slow down by shifting gears to add or remove dice from your mirror. You have 4 options: stay, shift up, shift down, or engine brake. So it looks like engine brake moves you down 2 gears. So then you're going to roll your dice, and then you're going to end your turn. You return your dice you locked and rolled this turn to your mirror, making sure to keep their current values. If you were forced to shift down during your turn, do so now in the same way you would during the shift step. So it says, looks like there's some delayed consequences. So once everyone's completed their turn, the round ends. The initiative track is then reordered according to what gear players are in, with the players in the highest gear going to the front and the lowest at the back. So we've got our movement, and then we have some lock and roll moves. So we do have steering, reverse, smash. So we've got collisions, damage, some collision examples. And it says, you're ready to race. So basically 9 pages of rules is what we were looking at there. So we've got special effects. We've got items, explosions, driver abilities. We've got some variants, so you can have a team mode. And then we have track design tips. And then we have our rule summary on the back here. And then next up, we have got our race book, I think it was. Yeah, the race guide. And it looks like we're racing in a junkyard and an overpass. So we're going to get into our cars. So you got the muscle car, the hot rod, the off-roader, and the junker. It's going to give us a breakdown. And then I guess we get special driver abilities. So the muscle car has Bad Bob as its driver. So you have Gear Master, Lurch, and Tail Swing. The hot rod is floor it, handbrake turn, overclock, driven by Bonneville. The off-roader is driven by Holly Shift, which we have momentum, Gearmaster, four-wheel drive. And the junker is driven by the Bionic Nan, okay, which has backfire, donut, and precision driving. So we have items here. We have oil slick and mines are dropped. Rockets are fired. We also have airstrikes and nitro. And then we get into our maps. We've got the overpass and then the junkyard. Giving us some examples here. The junkyard tutorial. And then we've got the qualifying race. We've got pivot pass, scrapper speedway, the chipped cup, the exploded dome, tin can alley. So these are all taking place in the junkyard. And we got rush hour. This is the overpass. So it's going to tell us number of players, how many laps, what the difficulty level is. It's giving us the various different obstacles, as well as our checkpoints, the strip mall. Gotta say, this looks pretty interesting. We got some clarifications on some various items. Next up, we're going to get into some punch boards. I think we got a few of these. Plus, no doubt, our map. There's our map. Take a look at that in just a moment. Got an insert here. This is cardstock. So we've got some pawns there, dice. It's like wooden dice. And looks like we've got them by color. And then we got our cars. I like the artwork. The artwork and graphic design is cool. And this player board is popping right out. So these look like these are cut very nicely. And we've got a wreck. We've got some of the items. So these items aren't cards. They're actually cardstock. Our initiative track. Looks like player aid boards. Giving us our turn sequence. Yep. And then collisions. That's nice. Most games would just give you the cards as opposed to using heavy cardstock. Another rocket. Looks like another wreck there. Or, no, that's not. It's actually being repaired, it looks like. Another driver board. More of the driver abilities. The initiative tokens. All right. And funny enough, each of these are different, if you notice. I thought that's kind of cool too. All right. And of course, they are dual-sided. Excellent. So those are the punch boards. Let's take a peek at the game board, the map. Looks like this is pretty large, so you may not get all of it into the shot. Looks like it's 3 panels by 3 panels. Yes. Okay. So here's the junkyard. Take a look at some of the panels of the junkyard here. So these are permanent obstacles on the board. And then the other side is our overpass. And this board is nice and thick. This will hold up really, really well. Okay. And then we have got our cars and our dice. I don't think we need to look at those little pawns. So we've got smaller dice, and then we've got some large dice here. So we've got two really big chunky dice. Then we've got the smaller dice for each of the players. So we have 5 gears, so we have 5 dice. And it looks like they are 1 to 3. Yep. So they are 6-sided dice, but they are 1 through 3. And it appears we have 2 faces of each. So they're essentially 1d3s. And then these bigger, chunkier dice have 2 through 4. And then a lightning bolt. There we got the dice. Now we got the cars. Well, these are nice and chunky. I got to say, production quality of this is excellent. There you go. And then I think each of them has, yep, they each have a token that corresponds with them. I think it's it's for accessibility. All right. So we have got, put this back in here. The cars. We've got the dice. We've got the cool inserts. We also have these pawns here. We've got our board, which is dual-sided with our 2 tracks. I believe there are more tracks in the expansions as well. Got all the punch boards. The race guide, the racing rules. And that is what we find when we take everything from Joyride, survival of the fastest, outside the box. And of course, I will have a review of Joyride in the not too distant future. Joyride is available now. It is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up. Plays in around 40 to 60 minutes. Does carry an MSRP of $60. Very nice. This looks very cool. I am quite interested in checking this out. All right, that is it for this time out. If you liked the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this first look, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.